How's it going, everybody? Vinny here with another episode of Caswell Customs. So today we're diving into another project with the White Knight truck. So what we're going to be doing today is actually adding rock lights up in the wheel wells. So the kit that I got allows for like color change and a bunch of different settings. It's got a remote and everything. So by OPT7. It's the Aura Quantum rock lights. So this is everything that comes with the kit. Yeah, your instruction manual and everything. So I mean, these just look super nice and durable. So it'll be nice because my tires actually kick up just so many rocks. There's actually not any in there right now, but so these will hopefully be pretty beefy. So we're going to be putting them in all four corners of the truck. So probably right about there on this side, or might actually have to put them up in there because this will actually go into my bed. This is on the other side. So, and then also up front as well. Get them up in there. So pretty stoked to get these in. Shouldn't be too difficult of an install. It's pretty much just drone and wiring. So I'm going to show you the process. So here's everything that actually comes inside the box. You got your four rock lights, this little controller. I'm not quite sure. I think that's just for like on and off. You have your actual remote for changing colors, some zip ties, cables, fuse taps. Comes with 6 of these cables, and I don't know if that's just in case you need extra length for running them to the rear, because my buddy actually is running this on his Jeep Wrangler. So I think the reason for the extra cables is the trucks are maybe longer, or maybe it's so that you can plug in like the LED strips, because I know OPT7 has LED strips that you can do as well. So I'm not quite sure about that. I got to double check into that. One thing I don't have out here, oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. There's everything. So that's the actual controller. So I think that's what those both have eyes, so those probably go together. But it's only got 4 plugins into it, so I don't know. We'll get to the install and we'll go from there and see what it all is that I'm gonna need. But so far, that's everything for the kit. So first things first, since we're dealing with electrical, first thing I want to do is go ahead and pop the hood, and we're going to disconnect the battery. Whew, it's dirty up in here, damn. So like I said, first things first, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery. So you're just gonna take a 10mm and loosen that up. Oh man, oh, I got a fuzzy in my throat. Okay, you're gonna loosen up the battery, or you can take off the negative power. And it's super tight up in here, so just gonna wiggle that off, and set that off to the side. And then, you don't have to do both, but I'm gonna take them both off. And then wiggle that bad boy off. There we go. So now they are both out of the way, not connected to the battery. So what I'm gonna do now is, so this is your actual power harness, everything like that. This is what your remote that comes with it speaks to. So these I'm going to connect directly to the battery and to the ground. And then this, they say to use a fuse tap into something that's, you know, only an ignition fuse. That way it's not drawing any power. But what I'm going to do is, I already want to rewire this controller, because right now the 3 lights that I have in the grill are connected to this. I'm actually going to hook those up to the running light, and I'm going to hook this to that. That way I'm running it'll be controlled when I turn this on instead of just the fuse tap. So that way, if this isn't on, I can't turn on the rock lights. But this is always live because it doesn't draw enough to kill my battery. So for this, I'm just looking for a place to ground this out and to add it to my battery. So I'm gonna hook it right there to the battery, and I'm gonna use that screw right there to ground it out. And then I'll run the rest of that with all that other stuff. And that way, I can tap into my controller that I've got in there. I kind of got a rat's nest of wires in here right now. Definitely need to clean that up. All right, so none of my ring terminals are big enough, so I'm gonna have to run up to the hardware store and get some that fit. Since I unplugged my truck, the battery, and go ahead and borrow my mom's Durango. So we're gonna swing up to the hardware store, get what we need, and then we'll come back and finish up the project. Sport mode on. I really wanted to go there. Got some traffic coming, so we're gonna hold up. And let's send it. This thing gets up to speed so fast. I love it. I love driving this thing. This thing is a blast. If I didn't have my truck, well, I'd probably rather have a car. But if I had like a family, like you know, it's my mom's car. If I had a family, this is like the ideal vehicle. All right, so we got what we needed. So now it's time to head home and get this project finished. All right, so I just got back from the hardware store. I got the ring terminals I need, and then Tim actually just hit me up and said that he's buying a new set of tires, so he wants to roast off his old ones. So once we get this all set up, we're gonna go get a video of him just burning the rubber off his truck tires, so that'll be sweet. Good one. Dude, he started eating up the asphalt. Damn. Okay, so I've added my positive to the battery, grounded down there, and all I did was just loosen that up just enough to slide it on. And then now I'm routing the cable across, so I gotta clip the zip ties. And then wired this controller into my light controller up in the dash, and now I just gotta do some electrical tape, plug that in, tuck all that in there, and then I can start running all my lights and mounting everything in the wheel wells. Okay, so got all that wired up, and then there's all that. So those are all the cables that are gonna feed back towards everything. This is the cable that was plugged into number 2 on the controller, which controlled these lights. What we want to do is just hook it into this running light. So it's unplugged. You know, I pulled the bulb out. The problem is it's just so tight in there. Now I have to take this off to get the headlight to pull away so I can get that light to wire this into that. Then I'll get to getting the rock lights in there. Okay, so there's 2 bolts there that you got to take off. Pull this away. You're gonna feel like it's gonna break, but it's not. You just gotta pop it loose. And there's 1 bolt in there that you literally just have to loosen up. And then, because it's just a U shape there, and those tabs pull out, and it's the 2 bolts on top, so you can pull it away. So now I can get at this light so that I will be able to wire this into that. Okay, so finally I now have those tapped in with the running light, which I'm pretty stoked about. Okay, so I just got done doing all the wiring that requires any kind of splicing into anything. So I gotta clip off those zip ties, but that's all back together now. I spliced in onto that light over the far end because this is actually my blinkers, so I didn't want to splice into those. But yeah, I spliced in over there, so I still gotta do a little bit of cleaning up with the wiring, but go ahead and button all this back up. I hooked the battery back up because now everything else is just gonna be all plug-in stuff. So now I can start adding the rock lights. Okay, so I've decided I'm gonna mount these up right in there. So I just gotta drill them in, but I have ran the wire, and all I did was just run it through there and then down the frame with all the other wires, and then up in, and then I already got that one in up front, and brought them all up through there and into there. Now on the other side, I already did this one, and then same thing, except on this side, and I haven't drilled this one either, I ran it down the frame and then through and then across that cross member and then up through that same side. So that's how I wired everything up. On this side, I just ran it through, up, and then across with all my other wires. And now everything's in there. So we're gonna go ahead and test it out. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and test it out. So I'm gonna hit my button to turn it on. Then we've got a remote here, we got our on button, and boom, look at that. Okay, so let's try 7 color cycle. Oh, that's awesome. Strobe. Okay, how about auto? Ah, and it just goes through them. All right, that's pretty cool. So like I said, there's a bunch of different options, but yeah, that's super dope. So I still gotta screw in the ones in the back, but we're all set. And shut them off. All right, so hope you enjoyed me putting this on my truck. I think it's gonna be super cool. I'll get some videos of it at night, that way you can see what it really looks like. But all in all, I'm super happy with how it turned out. Now I got some cleaning up to do. Hey Miller, hey buddy. Thanks for watching another episode of Caswell Customs. If this video is helpful, go ahead and drop a like on the video. Leave a comment in the comment section if you're curious about anything that I may have left out. If you want to follow us on Instagram, go ahead and look up Caswell Customs. Follow us on Facebook. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.